class of 2024. My name is Korvus, and I have both dreamed of and dreaded this day since I was a child. On one hand, all of my hard work would finally pay off and I'd get to celebrate my success with my peers. On the other, it would mark the end of my childhood and the beginning of a new and scary life. I think all of my fellow graduates today feel at least a little bit terrified of what lies ahead. We've all faced failure before, and nothing is scarier than failing again when the stakes are higher. But one thing has always remained consistent throughout my academic career. Once you've reached rock bottom, you can only get better. Me and rock bottom are extremely well acquainted. I first sunk into its dark trenches when I was in 6th grade. Through unspeakable tragedy, my life was forever changed and I had lost my father. I had to grapple with the fact that he would not be seeing me on the stage tonight. It was impossible to be a 10-year-old with PTSD and be a good student. After being a GATE-certified honor roll straight A student for the first time in my life, I was a failure. That set a major precedent for the rest of my schooling. I had completely given up on school, but mostly on myself. The stress triggered my first noticeable symptoms of ADHD. I couldn't focus, couldn't remember, couldn't stay on task, couldn't. Now, on top of being a failure, there was something wrong with me, and I had no idea what it was. Then, as if things weren't already bad enough, there was a worldwide pandemic at the start of my freshman year, which I'm still not over. Now, with virtual learning, it was easier than ever to not try. Schools later rolled out hybrid schedules in hopes it would help, but it didn't for me. For most of these in-person school days, I simply wouldn't show up, and when I was at home, I certainly wasn't doing the online work. The rare times I did show up to school would often end in full-blown panic attacks. At one point, I was nearly hospitalized. I think that was the experience that changed my mindset. I didn't want to give up on myself. I deserved better. For the first time, I realized I wasn't a failure. I was a hurt kid that needed help. That was when I learned the power of self-advocacy. I knew what I needed, and I wouldn't back down until I got it. My mother changed my life when she helped me get what's called an individualized education plan, better known as an IEP. After weeks of pulling teeth and talking to brick walls, she finally got me the accommodations that I desperately needed. But it was becoming increasingly obvious that even with these accommodations, this school just wasn't right for me. I was ridiculed for the way I expressed myself by other students, and I was treated by the teachers as a burden. That's when we put in an application to Visions in Education. I've never felt such a stark transformation in my life. Finally, I had teachers that were there to listen and help. Not only did I make up all my F's from freshman year, but I soared academically with nothing but A's and B's and above average test scores. Because people were teaching me in the unique way that I learned, I was able to show everyone that I was a good student, I was intelligent, and I was able to learn with a developmental disability. I wouldn't be able to walk at my graduation if it weren't for Visions and its amazing teachers. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. My fellow students, I want to take this opportunity to speak directly to a group that continuously goes overlooked and ignored, left to be the bad kids and disappointing failures. I want to speak to anyone in this audience who, like me, has struggled with their neurodivergency. Hear my story and understand that we are not failures, we are not burdens, and there is nothing wrong with us. Do not give up on yourself because you deserve better. The fact that you're here tonight is proof that you can succeed. Thank you for this amazing opportunity to speak, and congratulations to the class of 2024.